Hello, dog lovers, and welcome to another live show. Hope you're doing well. My name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners, and in this live video, I'm going to explain to you the 5 dog training basics that every dog owner or every puppy owner needs to know. So if you have a new puppy or you have a new dog or you have a dog overall and you're thinking of training it or wondering why, how, and where to start training, this is a must-watch video. So hopefully you are going to get tons of information in this live video. I'm going to break it down and explain to you everything. And also, I'm going to start answering your questions. So go ahead and ask me your questions a little bit later as soon as we get started to get into that part of Q&A. So I will start my presentation, and then after the presentation, you can ask your question. If you're live now, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, say hi, let me know where you're watching this live show at the moment, and we'll get started in this live presentation. And before I get started, I wanted to let you know that this live show is brought to you by sarodogtraining.com, my own website. I want you to go ahead and visit my website because there are tons of content and information there. You can start learning a lot about dogs and puppies. I offer a lot of services on my website as well. If you are a local dog owner and you want to work with me one-on-one, you can have the option of private dog training with me. If you are somewhere in the world and you need some form of support and you need to get your questions answered about your dog, I offer virtual dog consultation as well. You can go ahead and contact me and we'll get going with your issues or problems that you have with your dog. If it's something that I can answer it on the consultation, that would be great. If not, I will direct you to one of my services, other services, which are online courses. My online courses, the way it works is there are online courses that you can attend on your own. There are video training courses that you can go on your own pace and learn everything that you need to learn about your dog. So for example, if you want to just learn the basic obedience, training your dog, the basic obedience, I have a 6-week online basic obedience course that you can learn how to train your puppy or your dog, just the basic obedience. If you are thinking of getting a dog or a puppy, this is the course. Before and after you get a puppy, you need to attend this online course and learn what you need to learn about before or after you get your puppy or your dog. If you want to learn how to train dogs without the use of treats, this is the course for you. If you have a puppy and you want to get started on training your puppy, this is the course, Puppy Training 101. If you want to learn what are your dog's needs that you need to provide on daily basis, which I always emphasize on this is the course for you. If you have a dog who has a leash problem, doesn't walk properly on a leash, this is the course for you. If you want to learn, basically get to know me, get to know my system for free, this is the course, Intro to Dog Training Without Treats. And if you want to go really deep in dog training and understand how to train your dog without the use of treats, food, aversive tools, force, or domination, and also learn all the basic obedience, leash walking, all the details about dogs, we go in depth and we go all over the dog training world about understanding your dog and training your dog. This is the course for you, which is called Functional Dog Training. And also, if you want to work with me on monthly basis on a membership level, I have membership courses as set up for you as well. I have a monthly membership that we work together one-on-one as long as it's needed or as long as you want. We work on monthly basis. If you want to just train your dog working with me one-on-one, have my full attention with you, I have an 8-week membership plan that we're going to train and get all the issues that you have with your dog addressed, and also have a 90-day membership plan where I will transform you and your dog to become an educated dog owner with a perfect dog. So if you are interested in any of my services, make sure to visit sarodogtraining.com, which is which is the sponsor of this live show. So let's get started. And here we go. We have Cole YT says here, the Josh Howe is here. The Shadow Joshua says, but I will stay as long as I can. Sure. Go Groomer is here as well. Thank you for being here. That is amazing that you're joining my live session. That is great. Thank you for being here. And Joshua is saying, I love your stream. Thank you for being here. Abaddon is here. And Saro, these courses are wonderful. Great. Thank you very much. Yes, very good. Thank you for being here, being supportive, and joining the live show. So let's get started on today's topic, which is dog training basics that every dog owner needs to know. So the first thing that every dog owner, when it comes to training their dog, has to be the start training your dog at the right time and age. So let me explain what I mean by that. So if you have a puppy, or you just got a puppy, it's not the time to train that puppy. The puppy is too young and you want to raise the puppy. That's not the time to train a puppy. Puppy training starts about 4 months to 6 months and older. Until then, what you're doing, you're just introducing everything to your puppy. You're not really training your dog. You're not really doing any formal training with your puppy. All you're doing, you're introducing yourself, your lifestyle, your energy, your home, your setting, your routine, all those things. It's not the time to train a puppy. One thing that you have to remember is that your puppy has been separated from its natural, normal setting, maybe was with its parents or with its siblings, and now has been separated and is with you, and is very stressed, very confused, very anxious. And that state of mind, it's not the right state of mind to train the puppy. All you want to do is support the puppy, raise the puppy, and give the puppy enough space and information to just relax. Once they relax, which is going to take a month or 2 or 3, then you can start training that puppy. One of the biggest mistakes that puppy owners make is they start training the puppy right away. And obviously, everything is going to go wrong if you start training that puppy at that age. You want to start training the puppy at the right time, at the right age. The age that I'm saying again is 4 months to 6 months and older. That's the time that a puppy has been developed physically and emotionally and mentally. That means their eyes are fully developed, their nose is fully developed, their ears are fully developed. So now they can focus, they can hear and see things completely. I would say 90% they're good to go. That's the time that you start training your puppy or your dog. Now, the right time also means is when your dog is misbehaving or is doing something wrong or is doing something unwanted, that's not the time to train your puppy or your dog also. Because what happens is when you do that, when a dog or puppy, or in general, dogs are in an environment or in a situation that they are really confused and stressed and anxious or excited, that state of mind, it's not the time to teach or train that dog, because they can't focus on the training that you're trying to accomplish, right? So for example, if your dog is barking at something when it sees something, that's not the time to say, Rover sit, Rover stay, Rover do this, Rover do that. Rover is not paying attention to you. Rover is paying attention to the dog or whatever is causing it to be stressed or anxious or excited. Maybe sees neighbor's dog, which may be friendly dog, and your puppy or your dog wants to go and play with it, right? But you're saying, instead of playing, pay attention to me. That's not the time to train that puppy or that dog, because what happens is, again, the state of mind is not the right state of mind. The dog is focused on something else, some other energy, and you're trying to input information or asking the puppy or the dog to do what you want, which obviously your dog or your puppy is not going to be listening and is not going to do it. Then you're going to get stressed and anxious yourself and angry, and then you're going to give a wrong energy to your dog, and your dog is going to be, what he's going to do is going to turn around and say, you know what, I don't care, I want to do whatever I want. So that's not the right time to train your dog. What you want to do, train the dog before or after that situation, and prepare your dog for success. Give it some information so your dog has some idea of what it's supposed to do when it comes to certain situations, certain conditions, and then expect your dog to give you something. So that's number one, having the right time and the right age to train your dog. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's go to regular tip number 2. When it comes to training your dog, you want to make it a regular routine activity. It's not just whenever my dog is misbehaving, I'm going to train my dog, or whenever I have the time, I'm going to train my dog, or whenever my dog is this or that, whenever there's an opportunity to train your dog. Yes, in the perfect world, that works. But in reality, it doesn't work. What it means is, if you don't train your dog on a regular routine, what it happens is your dog doesn't learn. What that says to you is that you need to create a routine, some form of routine. If it's 1 day a week, if it's 2 days a week, or it's 3 days a week, or it's every day, you need to stick to that routine. You can't say, okay, this week I'm going to do it 1 day a week, and next week, if I have time, I'll do 2 days a week, and then maybe in 3 weeks we'll do another session. That's not a routine. What you want to do, you want to create a routine. Everything that you do in your life, you plan it, right? You don't just, I hope so. You just don't do things because you do it because you make that act that you're doing a priority. If it's brushing your teeth or eating or going for a walk or going to work or going to see your friends or going to see your doctor, you plan those, right? You make them priority and you do it. Dog training should become a priority for you as well. Every week or every few days, plan it and put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar. This is cool. Just remember that. Okay? Just remember that as well. Put it in your calendar so you know, okay, Thursdays at 4 o'clock is the time that I'm going to train my dog. Every Thursday at 4 o'clock, I'm going to train my dog. If you do that, then it becomes consistent, and it becomes a routine for your dog and for yourself too. So you also become routine oriented, and you become used to that, and you say, you know what, on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock I'm training my dog. I can't do this. If your friend or your family member says, can you do on Tuesdays, can you come and do this or pick this up or do that? No, I have it in my calendar at 4 o'clock. I can't do it. I have things to do. So your dog becomes you become regular with the training, and your dog also, believe it or not, expects, for example, every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, this is what we do. Believe it or not, they become used to that. I remember when I got Annie, I was starting to train her, and we would do every day almost at 6 p.m. was our training time. And around 5:30, quarter to 6, she would go and stay by the door. And I was wondering, why is she there? And then I would remember, 6 o'clock, it's our training time. She wants to train. She wants to interact with me. That's what she wanted. Just like, every day when you're feeding your dog around, let's say 5 o'clock, they know exactly what 5 o'clock what is going to happen at 5 o'clock. They expect that. Training becomes an expectation too. So they expect you to train them. So they motivate you to train your dog, and you get motivated to train your dog as well, right? So it's very important to make it a regular routine. That way you don't skip, right? If you skip, what happens is it shows that you're not committed. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing your part. So for example, if you're not going to commit to train your dog is going to say, believe it or not, this is what it's going to say. It's going to say, you know what? You're not committed. You're not committed to train me every week on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock. You're not committed. So I'm not going to commit to training either. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're not committed, I'm not going to commit either. Right? So therefore, you're going to get negative results. But if you commit and make it a regular routine, your dog is going to say, wow, this human is committed. So I'm going to commit too. If that human is so serious about this and makes a big deal out of this, I'm going to commit too. Dogs are intelligent enough to figure these things out. It's humans who don't think or understand that dogs are that intelligent. Is it making sense so far or not? So make sure that you are training your dog at the right time and right age. And 2, make sure that you make it a regular routine. Is it making sense or not? Yes? Good. All right, let's go to number 3. Make your training reward-based. Dogs need to be rewarded when you're training them. It's not a matter of, I'm going to be rewarding my dog only when my dog is doing something good or bad. I'm not going to reward it, but I'm going to reward it when it's doing good. You need to reward it, believe it or not, both positive and negative. This is going to blow your mind. So pay attention, okay? Pay attention. This is going to blow your mind. You need to reward your dog both for positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. You have to provide these two, both positive and negative. Not only because your dog is doing good thing, you reward it with the good stuff. Or when your dog is doing something wrong and you just correct it and say no and yell at your dog all the time. I'm sure you've heard this comic that, the dog is saying, I think my name is No. because my parents, they keep calling me no, because the dog is so doing all the time the wrong thing. So parents are always calling the dog no. So the dog thinks his name is no, right? So you cannot be always negative, or you can't be always positive, right? Be, oh, good boy, good girl. Oh, you did that, good girl. And whenever your dog is making a mistake, not to correct it. You need to provide your dog both positive and negative reward reinforcement. Is it making sense? If you don't do it, what happens is your dog gets confused. If you're just saying yes, 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 good boy, good girl all the time, or you're just saying no, 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 stop it, hey, stop jumping, don't do this, hey, hey, hey. If you're doing that, you're just saying no, no all the time, that is always negative or positive. You can't be just one of each, right? You have to be both. Your dog has to feel and sense life with both positive and negative. You have to reward your dog, whether if it's positive, whether if it's negative. So if your dog is doing something good, say yes, good boy, good girl, exactly, that's what I want, right? But if your dog is doing something wrong, don't feel bad saying no to your dog. That's the worst thing that you can do, not to tell your dog that is doing something wrong. You have to make sure that your dog understands that it has done something wrong and you're not happy. And you can't just yell at your dog or punish your dog physically and mentally just because he's done something wrong, right? You have to properly correct it, right? So, for example, what I use is a word no. I just say no to my dog. And no becomes our correction word, our correction system. And this is what you learn in Saro dog training method, how to implement the correction, verbal correction of verbal no to your dog. That you don't have to yell at your dog, you don't have to get physical with your dog, you don't have to make a big deal when it comes to training and correcting your dog. So, for instance, I introduce the word no to my dogs. So whenever they are doing something wrong, all I have to do is say, Rover, no. A firm, clear no. It's not a no, no, don't do it, no. It's not that, and it's not no, no. It's not extreme. Both are extreme. It's a clear, firm, proper energy level of correction, which is no. Did it hurt? Did it make you feel bad? No, it made you feel, oh, that meant something, right? That meant that I did something and I need to stop, right? Once you practice that with your dog and teach your dog, and your dog learns, everything changes. I never have to yell at my dogs. I never have to raise a hand to my dogs. I never have to use aversive tools or aversive methods to train my dog. Why is it that people are using aversive methods, aversive tools? Is because they can't figure this out, because they can't understand, how do I teach my dog to not to do something that is unwanted? Because they either focus on reward, positive reward, or they focus on negative reward. And or they don't use anything, they don't do anything with their dog, and then depend on tools which are aversive or aversive methods to correct the dog. So if you go back and you just create a clear, proper foundation when it comes to training and rewarding your dog is going to say, you know what, I can work with this. And because so far you have been working and training your dog at the right time, at the right age, and you have also been training your dog on a regular basis, right? Your dog is used to that. Then when you correct it, your dog knows exactly what you mean. You don't have to be doing dramatic form of correction or reward. So reward based is not just to give rewards to your dog or provide reward to your dog. What it means is reward your dog with both positive and negative. Make sure that you provide those two. If you don't, you're confusing your dog. Because if, let's say, you're doing just positive, 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 if you're just positively rewarding your dog is going to say, whether I do good thing or a bad thing, I get rewarded anyways. So it doesn't really matter for me to do the right thing or the wrong thing, right? Also teaches your dog an unrealistic lifestyle, which everything is positive. Life is not only positive. For every living thing, life is not positive. There's positive, there's negative as well. For some humans, some creatures, there's lots of negative, some positive, or the vice versa. So your dog has to learn that life is not only negative or only positive. If the negative happens all the time, your dog is going to think again, its name is no. If the positive thing happens all the time, the dog is going to say, you know what? It doesn't matter if I do anything, I get rewarded. So what's the point of me doing and thinking about doing how I'm doing things? If it doesn't matter if I'm pulling on the leash, right? If I'm not pulling on the leash or pulling on the leash, it doesn't really matter. I get rewarded anyways. So your dog has to get both feedbacks of positive and negative in order to be healthy, happy, balanced dog. So that is number 3, reward-based training. Am I making sense so far? Yes or no? Give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you're getting value out of this video. Let's go to number 4. Make the training sessions short but often. This is very important as well. Many dog owners, when they are training their dog, they may train their dog for 5 minutes, or they may train their dogs for half an hour or so, right? Which is not ideal. Training sessions, especially for dogs, should be short, but you need to do it often. So what I mean by that is you need to train your dog maybe 5-10 minutes. If it's a puppy, 5-10 minutes. If it's an older dog, let's say 8 months and older, you need to do 15 minutes to half an hour at a time. 5 minutes is too short. 10 minutes is not enough. 15 minutes is perfect. It's ideal. 15 minutes is the ideal amount of energy that a healthy dog can focus on things, especially if you're training your dog my method, my system, which is using play and praise. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. If you use that training, or in general, if you train your dog for 15 minutes, your dog is going to be drained so much. Mentally and physically is going to be drained in the point that he's going to say, you know what, I had enough. I'm good. I just need a break now, right? You could push a dog up to half an hour, but it's not recommended to do it often that way. But so if you want to train your dog, if you're really passionate, if you're enjoying training your dog, make sure that you're training it like 10-15 minutes, maybe twice or 3 times a day. That is more effective than training a long period of time, because what happens is after 15 minutes, they're physically and mentally drained, and they cannot focus on the training that you're providing. Everything that you teach after 15 minutes is going to be going down the drain. Your dog is not going to be taking in any information. Actually, what is going to happen is they're going to start misbehaving. They're going to start not listening to you. They're not going to learn, just to give you the clues that, oh, I had enough. This is enough, right? So finding that right amount of energy that you need to put on the training is crucial. You have to, you know your dog better than I do, or better than anyone knows your dog. You know your dog better. So after 15 minutes, like you're saying, okay, you're training your dog. After 15 minutes, you see that your dog is starting to wander off, or is not listening anymore. You're saying sit and is not sitting. Boom, that's the time to stop. Okay, you're done, right? Get the clues from your dog, and don't overtrain your dog. If you overtrain your dog, you're going to get negative results, negative feedback from your dog. So training is something that you want to do in shorter periods, but more often. Maybe here's what I'm always saying, if you have 15 minutes twice, 3 times a day to spend training your dog, do that. That's more effective than saying, you know what, I need to put an hour to train my dog. I'm going to go to an hour of training class. An hour of training class is just too much. One of the things that I used to do before everything happened was running online training classes here, right? And we used to do for an hour. And, the first 10, 15 minutes, everything was going well. The dogs were cooperating. The dogs were listening. The dogs were doing well. After 20 minutes, they were getting agitated. They wanted to play. They wanted to rest. They wanted to go home. But because the owner had paid for an hour class, they would stay for an hour, right? So I had to run the class for an hour. And I had 6 to 12 students in each class. And, to run a class, 1 hour class with 6 to 12 people and dogs, it's draining. I was getting drained physically, mentally, emotionally myself when I was training these people and these dogs. Imagine the dogs. They get drained physically, mentally, emotionally. And what happens is, I hated it. I hated training dogs in a group class, group method, group format, because I was personally was getting drained myself. It was just too much. And I was seeing that the dogs are not getting the benefits that the owners are expecting. So that's why I highly suggest taking my online courses. Everybody who contacts me, the first thing that I say, take my online course. It's on your dog's terms. Your dog, you learn the course, you attend the course, you learn what you're supposed to do, and you practice that with your dog in a calm environment, whereas in at home, there's no distractions, there's nothing going on. And you can, measure how long does your dog prefers to be trained. And you train it as much as it wants, without stressing the dog, without making the dog be more agitated or stressed or anxious. And you just train your dog at home. That's the best place to train a dog. One of the things that also, here's a bonus tip in this part. When it comes to training our dogs, you want to start training your dog at home in the living room, where is calm and relaxed. There's no distractions. Not in the classroom. The classroom is level 4 or 5. Let me give you what I mean by level 4 or 5. Level 1 of training your dog is to train your dog at home, where there's no distractions, right? Everything is calm and the dog is familiar with the environment. Boom, the dog learns quickly. 100% the dog learns. Second level is the backyard. Or if you live in a building, the parking lot or the hallways. Those are the environments. Then you're going to go start training your dog. If you accomplish level 1, you go to level 2, which is the hallways or the parking lot or the backyard of your house. Now, level 3 is in front of the house, where there's more distractions. And if you live in the building, in front of the building, that's the level 3. There's more distractions, and the environment is different than level 1 and 2. Level 4 is on the streets. You start walking on the streets and training your dog at the same time, because you're adding more distractions: cars, people running, jogging, walking, cars coming, going, bikes coming and going, dogs are coming and going. That's the level 4. You're adding more distraction. Level 5 is the dog park. So group classes is level 4 and 5 for a dog. So if you're a new dog owner and you're training your dog, and you just got your dog, and all of a sudden you bring it to the classroom, you're overwhelming your dog with a level 4 and 5. That's not the environment that you want to train your dog. You're going to be digging a hole when you start training your dog in a group class. That's why I don't suggest new dog owners or dog owners in general start with group classes, because it's level 4 or 5. There's too much distractions. The dog or the puppy is not ready for that environment. You have to prepare it to get to that level. So if you do it at home, in the backyard, in the front yard, your dog is kind of prepared, has some ideas what to do and what not to do. And then you can go to group class or street or the parks and train them. Making sense? Right? It's important to break it down that way so your dog gets the best results and gets the best way of being trained. This is very important. So far, what I've shared with you, these are the basic understandings of training. Many dog owners, they don't do this. They don't go through this process. And this is why we have dogs who have behavioral issues. And this is why dogs end up in the shelters, because dog owners get overwhelmed because they don't do the right thing. As soon as they get the puppy, oh my goodness, they melt for the puppy, and all the proper thinking goes down the drain. They don't do the right thing. They don't take the right steps. All they do is share affection with their dog, right? And what happens? The dog becomes unbalanced, doesn't know what it's supposed to do, and doesn't know how to learn, right? So it's very important for you to take the right steps. So what is the next step? Step 5 is don't use treats to train your dog. I know you've been bombarded with everybody and everything that has been telling you that you need to use treats to train your dog. But I'm telling you, that's the worst thing that you can do to train your dog. If you want real magic to happen in your training format, training system, follow the step 1, 2, 3, and now 4 and 5, and now 5. I'm guaranteeing you don't need to use treats. There's no need to use treats. Treats, I'm not saying I'm against treats. I'm not saying don't give treats to your dog. I'm saying don't use treats to train your dog. One thing that you have to understand is dogs have been bred and designed by humans for humans. That means we breed these dogs because they are good. They do exactly what we want them to do. So if they're good and they do exactly what we want them to do, then we don't need to use treats to get them what they want, what we want them to do. They will do it for free. I guarantee you, your dog will do anything for you for free. The problem starts when you use treats. Then you start adding another level of confusion in your dog. Your dog says, wow, I was going to do everything for you for free, and now you're paying me. You're giving me treats to do it. So instead of me doing it for free, I'm going to now have expectations. I'm going to have to wait for you to present to me treats, then I'll do it. Now you're making an exchange with your dog. Your dog says, if you want me to sit, show me the treat, give me the treat, I may sit. That's when the confusion starts. That's when all the training goes down the drain. Because you start mixing and confusing your dog with what it's bred for. Your dog has been bred to do things for you for free. What I mean by free is your dog has been designed and naturally bred to be rewarded by you using natural rewards, which are play and praise. Every dog is born with the sensation of being praised, with the emotions of being praised, with the feeling of, I want to play, have a good time, I want to be praised. Have you noticed if you say to your dog, good boy, good girl, your dog all of a sudden starts celebrating physically, emotionally, mentally, just the whole body starts shaking? Because that's the best reward for your dog. When you play with your dog says, wow, my human is interacting with me, is paying attention to me, right? Is doing things with me. And I love this. I want to be part of this. I would do anything for this now. So when you tap into play and praise as a reward for your dog is in ninth claw, in ninth level, right? In the toppest level in their reward system. They're saying, whoa, this is the greatest thing that has happened. My human is paying attention to me, is interacting with me, right? And imagine in that state of mind, when your dog is in that state of mind, you bring treats. And your dog is going to say, wow, look at where we were. And now you're bringing treats, right? You bring that emotion and that excitement down, right? Because there's a time and a place for food. Treats are food. There's a time and a place for food. You want to feed and give treats to your dog at the right time, at the right state of mind. Not just because you're training, not just because your dog is doing what you're asking. Your dog gets confused, says, I thought we were interacting. I thought we were playing. I thought you were praising me. And now I have to eat. You're feeding me now? Why am I eating now? It's not time for eating. It's time for interacting. It's time for playing, right? So don't use treats to train your dog. Once you interact with your dog and, play with your dog and praise your dog, wow, you get so much result, so fast, so clean, so pure. That connection that you make with your dog is the purest, is the cleanest connection when you do that, when it's in that state of mind. As soon as I ask my dog to let's play and train at the same time, my dog is like, forget everything. I'm in this zone now. I want to do this, right? But I've seen dogs, my clients' dog, that the dog owner is just focused on providing food and treats, right? They can't do anything without treats. I have clients who come for interview for a doggy daycare. They bring treats with them to get their dog to listen and pay attention. They can't do anything without treats. It's so sad to see these people, right? So sad to see that they are so dependent. I'm going to say it's like a drug dealer providing drugs to the dog. It's that bad, right? You're so dependent on treats that you can't do anything with your dog, right? There's so many things can go wrong when you use treats. So don't use treats. Use instead play and praise. And that's what you learn in my online courses. That's what you learn on my system, to use play and praise to get not only results, but to get the best results, right? When you commit to going through these steps, these 5 steps that I just shared with you, you get the best results in your dog training. You get the best dog ever. Right? I've trained my dogs without treats all the time, and I get the best results because I'm doing everything by the book. I do exactly what is supposed I have to do. And that's it. All you have to do is just focus on these 5 things. So let's recap. Start training at your dog or puppy at the right age, right time, right state of mind. Okay, make the training a regular routine, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, every day. Make it a routine. Stick to it. Be consistent. Make sure that you're rewarding your dog, both negative and positive. Don't just give negative rewards to your dog or just positive rewards. Make sure that you're creating that balance, which is both positive and negative. Make the training sessions short but often. So if you're going to do 1 day a week, right, make it 15 minutes, half an hour maximum, right, or 15 minutes twice a day. If you're going to do 1 day of training. If you're going to do 3 times a week, right, make it a 15 minutes 3 times a week. That would be ideal. And of course, don't use treats to train your dog. And that is what I focus on in my channel, to teach dog owners to not to use and depend on treats to train their dogs. So let's get to questions. So get your questions here. I'm going to go through the questionnaires and I'm going to start answering your questions. And meanwhile, I want you to be reminded, okay? Just reminded that when you are doing anything with your dog, make sure that you're providing your dog's daily 5 essential needs as well. This is a bonus tip. Make sure that you're providing exercise, training, socialization, care, and then affection. Okay? Don't just provide affection for your dog. Don't just do affection. Don't just focus on providing affection for your dog. Don't just focus on providing good care. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to provide exercise for you. Make sure that you're providing all of these 5 essential needs for your dog. And in this order, this is a bonus step. Provide daily exercise, daily training, daily socialization, proper amount of care, and then share affection. If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, then you and your dog deserve to give and share affection, to give and take affection. If you haven't provided good amount of exercise for your dog, if you haven't done any training that day, if you haven't provided any form of socialization for your dog, and then you have provided the best care for your dog, and then you share affection, you mess up. You screw up your dog. You screw up your relationship. In a way, you and your dog don't deserve to share affection. If you want to share affection, make sure that you're providing your dog's daily 5 essential properly, and then share affection. If you exercise your dog for the day, good amount, good training, socialized it, provided the best care, and then you're going to say, you know what? Now I can have an affection session with my dog. Now I deserve to share affection with my dog. Make sense? So make sure that you focus on this while I get a sip of water. Good. All right. Let's get to Q&A session. Can't wait to answer your questions, guys. If you're enjoying this show, and if your mind is blown, give it a like, right? Okay, let me go through the questionnaires and see if there's any question that I can answer and help you guys. Sam Cools is saying, by the way, Go Groomer, Amy from Go Groomer, one of the best channels in the YouTube world, about grooming. Amy provides the best and the most comprehensive form of grooming of your dog. If you have a dog who needs grooming, or you have a dog who with short hair is even, right? Go ahead and watch her videos. Check out her channel, because as a dog owner myself, I get so much value out of her channel. I get so much value out of the content that she's providing. And I have had her on my channel. We've talked about grooming, and her energy is so positive, so loving, so valuable. So she is the best groomer. She is natural and very holistic, I would say, form of groomer. You can't find groomers at her level. And no other groomer, I think, shares as much as Amy shares on her channel. So go ahead and check out her channel, Go Groomer on YouTube. And it's an honor to have Amy on live today. So if you have any questions and you want to ask her questions about grooming as well, go ahead and ask, and chat with her on the chat area. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have while I answer your questions. Sam Cools says, I need help with my new toy poodle puppy. What kind of help do you need? Let me know and I will help you. Great. Carol is saying, my friend adopted a dog that was formerly a service dog, and unfortunately it had some kind of breakdown because the family wasn't given the proper commands. Yeah, that is sad. I don't know if there's a question there. Carol is definitely enjoying Amy's videos. Here's a question. Raquel. There we go. How do I train my dog to stop begging for walks? That's a new thing that I've heard. So we're talking about exercise. Basically, your dog is asking for exercise, right? So if your dog is begging for a walk, is saying, I haven't got enough exercise for the day, right? So remember, one of the 5 essential needs is exercise, right? So walk is an exercise. So if your dog is asking for extra walk or needs more walk, you need to provide that additional walk, because what it says that I didn't get enough physical stimulation for the day. Dogs need exercise. Exercise is a physical stimulation. Training is a mental stimulation. Socialization is social stimulation. Care and affection are what we always love to share with our dogs. So exercise, training, socialization are stimulations. So if your dog is saying, I need more walks, it means you need to provide more physical stimulation. Make sense? I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, which is great. Very good. Okay. There's a good conversation going between the members. I'm looking for questions. Okay, this is let me see if I can, oh yeah, the bulldog. All right, Amy, one thing I wanted also to offer as a tip about your bulldog is, if you, now this applies to every dog, okay, but especially Amy from Go Groomer, training is a tool. Training a dog, what it does, it teaches the dog to learn how to solve issues, solve problems. When you teach a dog to sit and stay, for example, or come, these are problems that you're introducing to your dog, and you're saying, here's how you're going to solve it, right? Or when you teach your dog, for example, sit and stay, when it comes to a situation that your dog is confused, doesn't know what to do, you can say, here's the solution, sit and stay. As soon as you teach your dog to sit and stay, the dog sits and stays, for example, right? And then now your dog has one focus, one thing to focus on, instead of several things, right? When you're exposing your dog to certain situations, certain environments, and certain conditions, what it does, the dog taps into its instincts and says, what do I do? I can run, I can attack, I can just be afraid and just ignore and just do nothing and shiver. They have several options, right? But when you teach a dog, for example, to sit and stay, the dog says, we've done this before. I know what that is, sit and stay. So you want me to sit and stay? Okay, I'm going to sit and stay until you give me the next command. So now you're turning your dog's focus from what do I do to, okay, I know this, I know how to solve this problem. I'm going to do exactly what you have practice, and I'm going to do what exactly you're saying, right? So what it does, it gives the dog an option, plus it provides the dog a different state of mind as well. Makes the dog to go from this to this. It brings the confidence level up. It teaches the dog to say, you know what, I know exactly what to do. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel excited. I don't feel bad. I feel neutral. And when the dog is in neutral mode, then you can implement different behaviors as well. So remember that. So Angie is saying, it's going to break my heart to let my girl go, but my Chihuahua cross growls most of the time, and then she confronts him and bang, fighting. So this is very common issue. This is a very common issue that dogs and most dog owners deal with, which is, their dog misbehaves, and what it does, one of the things about this behavior is that, a dog sees another dog, starts growling and gets aggressive and starts behaving that way, is because, I'm going to remove this for now. I'm going to hide this because I want you to see this. The reason that happens is because this dog hasn't been provided proper amount of exercise. That dog hasn't been trained properly, hasn't had socialization. Social skills are zero. And most dog owners with this kind of dog, especially now you're saying Chihuahua, people share a lot of affection and care with this dog, right? So what it does, it messes up the formula. The formula is that you need to provide exercise and then training and then socialization and then care and then affection. But most dogs, as such, what people do is they share a lot of affection. They think affection is the solution. If I share affection with this dog, hopefully, it's not going to break its heart. It's going to feel good. No, that's not how it works with dogs. With humans, maybe works. It may work with humans, but it doesn't work with dogs. Dogs, they're not focused mostly on affection. Humans, if you have a problem with a human, let's say if you have a mental or you don't have money, or somebody passed away, or something happened to you, yes, I can go and give you a hug and say, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine. I can support you. It works with humans. Humans get it, right? But with dogs and animals in general, it doesn't work. That's the last thing that a dog needs. When, for example, in the wild, if a wild dog or animal gets injured or gets killed or something happens to that animal, right? The parents, especially the parents or the other animals, they don't go and say, oh, here we go. They actually kick that animal out of their group. They will feel sorry a little bit, but they will kick the dog out, that animal out of the group, because now that animal is injured, is useless, is not in the best of the pack or the group to stay with, right? So I've seen also, wildebeest, they're trying to cross the water, right? The creek, the river, and the baby gets either attacked by crocodile or is been taken by the water, and mom sees that the baby is gone, doesn't stand there and cry for hours or feel bad, moves on, right? That's the reality of wildlife. And in human life, yes, we can use affection to heal the wounds, heal the problems. But in the dogs or in animals, affection is the last thing that a dog needs. It's the worst thing that you can start sharing with the dog. If a dog is stressed, is excited, is in that state of mind that doesn't know what to do, and you share affection in that moment, it's okay, good girl, come here, it's okay, no, it's okay, don't worry, no, it's fine. To do that, the dog is going to say, wow, you're not even supporting me. I need your support. I need your help. What do I do? You're sharing affection. So you're saying it's okay to be feeling this way. It's okay for me to feel afraid. It's okay for me to feel excited. Then you're rewarding that dog for that unwanted behavior. So what happens is you're doing the opposite. One of the things that I have learned in dog world and with dog owners is everything that everything that you want to do at that moment with your dog, do the opposite. Everything that you've learned, everything that you have concluded in your mindset that that's what I need to do when my dog does this or that, do the opposite. For example, if you feel like you need to share affection, instead of sharing affection, share correction. So your dog is, for example, is aggressive towards other dogs or afraid of the other dog or excited. Say, no, don't do that. That's not the time to do this. I don't want you to get that in that state of mind. Okay? Training comes, that's the time that training comes in hand. And as I said, when your dog is behaving certain way at certain time, that's not the time to train the dog. You just correct it and remove it, and hopefully you have to be training it at the right time, right state of mind, so you will get some result. Right? So if you do your work properly at the right time, train your dog at the right time, when your dog does that behavior at the wrong time, then you can say to your dog, okay, no, and hopefully your dog is going to say, you know what, I know this, I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know what I'm supposed to react instead. I know what I'm supposed to focus on. Instead of that, I'm going to focus on my human, because my human has done this on a regular basis with me at the right time, at the right state of mind with me, and I know exactly what that means, and I'm going to respond to that. So if your dog is clueless, you haven't been training your dog at all, you haven't done anything with your dog, and then your dog is aggressive or reactive or doing something with another dog, and then you say, stop it, don't do it, and your dog doesn't listen to you and doesn't respond to you, and you say, hopeless, my dog is hopeless, he's not responding to me at all. Well, because you haven't done anything with your dog. Your dog has no idea that it's supposed to do that, right? And if you don't do anything, right, how can you expect your dog to respond to you? It's just logic. If you don't teach anything to your dog, you shouldn't have expectations from your dog. Make sense? By the way, we have Raquel Grant, first-time viewer. Your training tips are great, and she used the super chat. I'm so excited. Thank you very much. That is the greatest gift that I can get for the day. Not because of financial support that you're providing for the channel, but the fact that you're appreciating and you're putting value on the content that I'm providing, that it means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah. So if you train your dog and provide proper amount of exercise and training and socialization, then you should expect results from your dog. Therefore, your dog is not going to misbehave, right? Why is it that dogs misbehave? Why is it that dogs misbehave? Why is it that dogs don't listen to you? Because you're training your dog at the wrong time and the wrong state of mind and age. You don't make it a regular routine to train your dog. You're not positive and negative rewarding your dog, right? You're either always negative rewarding your dog or positively rewarding your dog, and you're not making your training sessions proper amount of time, and you're using treats. I guarantee you, most of you, I would say 99% of you are using treats. And that is one of the reasons why your dog is misbehaving, because you're using treats. Believe it or not. Let me explain what I mean by that. Why is it that treats causes dogs to misbehave? Treats or food are very important for any animal. Any animal, any creature needs food. It's very important, right? So imagine, I value food a lot. And then you have been providing me food the whole time, hoping that I will listen to you and pay attention to you. But you're telling me, what you're actually telling me that, okay, food is important. Now you're providing additional food for me. In my mind, is food becoming 110% valuable. It used to be 100%, now it's 110% valuable, right? And if I see you as food provider. I value you as a food provider, not as my human. I see you as a food provider. You're the source of my food. The dog says I can't go and hunt. can go and get food. So the only reason, and I know the only way that I get food is because this human is providing me food. So this human is very valuable to me. Without this human, I'm going to starve. So it's very valuable. So as soon as they see another dog, they say, hey, don't look at my human. This is my only food source, right? Don't even look at it. I'm going to kill you if you look at it. This is the only way that I can get food. So don't touch it. Don't even look at it. Don't even pay attention to it. Walk away. That's what your dog is saying. Is it blowing your mind or not? That is why we have all these dogs with behavioral issues. That's one of the reasons that I don't suggest or support training dogs with food, because it teaches the dog different mindset, teaches the dog the different form of living, and it just ruins the relationship that you have to have with your dog. It creates a different mindset, different view of you as your dog owner. You know what I mean? It is just not right. I'm not saying, again, don't give treats to your dog. I'm not saying don't feed your dog. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying give the treats or food just because, for no reason. If food and eating has a time and a place. I feed my dog twice a day. That's all they get. 10, 5. 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That's the only time they get fed. That's the only time they focus on food. The other times, they're focusing on exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection to get those, right? They're not focused on food. I don't expose them to food and treats the whole time, especially when it comes to training. I don't want to make my dog to think that I'm a food source. I'm a jackpot for food, right? Because if my dog sees me that way, if sees me as a food source, then what he's going to do, I'm not saying that your dog doesn't see you as food source or my dog don't see me as food source, /dad /human /my caretaker /my only love /my mom or dad. They see me in many forms of values /person who plays with me /person who interacts with me. I'm not only a food source for my dog. So a lot can go wrong when you use treats to train your dog. Hope that answered and clarified. Mariam is saying, my dog is scared of sitting in the car. She starts to vomit as well. What should I do? So there's two things happening here. One is behavioral. One is just, related to health, right? As long as your dog doesn't have health issues, it should be okay, and we can train the dog and deal with the behavioral issue. But if your dog has health issues, we have to address that first. So, for example, there are people, that if they go on a boat ride, they feel sick, right? The seasickness, right? That you can't really address it, right? It's something that is there, right? We can't say, oh, man up or be strong and deal with it. No, it just doesn't happen. It's just physically, it's not happening, right? So you have to find out if it's a health issue. If it's a health issue, you have to address that and address the behavior later, right? So what you can do is, figure it out. Ask your vet, ask several vets to see if they can find out if this is something that is internal, physical, or it's something that is emotional. If it's emotional or behavior, we can address it. If the dog is scared to sit in the car and to the point that it vomits, that means it's not confident enough or sure enough what to do in that situation. Maybe you haven't taught your dog or you haven't trained your dog enough to learn what it's supposed to do when it's in the car or in that situation. For example, if it was me, I would teach my dog sit, stay, lie down, and wait, all these commands. So when it's time for me to leave my dog in the car for a few minutes and go do my chore and then come back, I can ask my dog, wait, and my dog waits and knows, okay, wait means this. Wait means I need to stay put. Wait more for my human to come back. You have to train this. You have to teach this. So when you train your dog, wait command, your dog says, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for my human. So instead of stressing itself, oh, where's my human? Oh, human, where are you? I'm traumatized. Instead of doing this, you teach it or you train it to wait. The dog says, I know this. We've done this. We practiced before. I know exactly what wait means. And I know exactly what I need to do when I hear the command of wait. What I need to do is just wait. Now that becomes a task for your dog. It becomes a work, right? So the dog just waits. Just going to wait. I know this. I know my human is going to come back. No stress. I'm just going to wait. And my human is going to come. You change the state of mind. By training, using training, you change the state of mind of the dog, right? And that's how you deal with, this issue. So yeah, figure it out if it's a physical or is it emotional behavior. Amy says, great, good stuff. Thank you. I love teaching. I love training, and I enjoyed this. Andy is saying, my main questions, he started the fight. What should I do after the fight? Do I take him away to another room? Well, yes, for safety reasons, yes, separate them. Don't punish the dog. One of the things that also you have to understand, when a dog is in that level that it needs to fight, that means the stress level is very high. And guess why? For example, your dog's stress level is that high. Guess what? Guess why? Because your dog is not getting its daily training, exercise training, socialization, care, and affection in that order. If you mess this up, if you have a dog like that, you have to really stick to this plan. Really have to stick with it, to this formula. You can't go from here, there, and then there, and then there, and then there. You have to get up in the morning, provide enough exercise, do some training, provide good socialization. If you want to learn all these, again, you have to learn. You have to invest time and effort and money to learn these. If you want to learn, join one of my online courses, and then provide care and then affection. Right? If you provide these, you're going to start reducing the stress level of your dog, and hopefully within a month or two, you're going to see a shift in your dog's behavior. You're going to see the stress level going down and down. But you have to stick to this formula. Right? Great. Thank you, Raquel, for the donation. That is fantastic. I'm very excited about that. Yes, that's a good tip as well. Great. I'm so glad that Amy has recommended this channel to us as well. We recommend each other because I'm sure we both are providing valuable content. Amy from Go Groomer, the best. I haven't found. I do a lot of research before I use anything or I recommend anything. Right? I do a lot of research. I'm very picky. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know the goods and the bads of the business of dog business, right? And I can see and sense and find those who are fake and those who are not good. And I find the good ones, and when I find them, I will commit to them. And Amy from Go Groomer is one of them. Is the best channel for, actually, the best channel, one of the best channels in the YouTube world as a dog owner. If you are a dog owner, you have to check it out. You have to subscribe and just watch her videos. You get so much value out of it. Thank you, Amy. Same way. So Angie's saying, maybe that's where I go wrong. I don't ever use treat, just love, fuss, and happy boy. Yes. So that's the thing, here's another thing. Many dog owners, okay, they say, oh, I don't use treats. I do this instead. Okay, if you're doing that, that's not all of it, Unfortunately, here's the thing. I want you to understand that, when it comes to dogs, when it comes to humans, we need a lot of things to be healthy, happy, satisfied, and be literally, willing to live, right? We need cars, wine, we need phone, laptop, we need home, we need tablets, we need this, TV, we need that, in order to say, you know what, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. But dogs, they only need 5 things. Simple. Dogs are simple animals. They only need 5 things: exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. You provide these properly for your dog, boom, everything is going to be going away. And also your dog is going to be healthy, happy, well-behaved, right? Doing the right thing at the right time and taking the right steps is the key. All right, let's see if there's any other question. So Kathleen is saying, I'm glad I found you. We got 2 golden retriever puppies. We are using treats, but now listening to this, we will not. Great. Don't be afraid. Don't think that you're going to be harming your dog physically or emotionally. You're going to ruin the relationship, or your dog is going to say, you know what, I hate you because you're not using treats. I'm going to pack my bags and leave. No. Your dog is going to actually love you even more. I guarantee you. If you focus on interacting with your golden retrievers, that are the most interactive dogs in the world, that they are the example of a dog who is so committed to commit themselves to you, especially without treats. You don't even have to work hard. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to lift an arm to do anything. Golden retrievers are a piece of cake. They will do anything for you for free. Even they will pay you to do things. It's that magical. Yes. Very good. I'm glad that you're enjoying. Thank you. Carping Carpin says, hi, thank you for being here. New subscriber, exactly. Thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. If you are getting value, you make sure to hit the bell icon as well, so it will remind you as soon as I go live or I post a new video. I'm doing the non-training thing right then. Great. My Miles is a big beggar. Drives me not when he is begging when anyone has food. What can I do to correct it? Very simple. Here's what's happening in Miles' mind when you're eating. When you're eating or have food in your hands or whatever, this is what happens in Miles' mind. Oh, food, another treat, another food opportunity, right? For me to get involved with this human, to interact with this human, because food means interaction. So you have taught Miles to interact with you when you have treats or food. So it's not its fault. It's doing exactly what you have taught or trained it, right? So here's what you're going to do. To change the mindset, to change the behavior, what you need to do is teach or program a new wanted behavior. So next time, right now, if you're going to start today, you're going to start training your dog, make sure you're not using treats. Use play and praise, and interact with your dog, with Miles, using play and praise. So your dog is going to say, Miles is going to say, hey, where are the treats? Well, how come? Of course, you're changing your behavior. Now Miles is going to say, oh, you changed something. I'm going to have to get used to that. So it's going to take a few days for Miles to figure it out that, oh, there's a change. I'm going to have to, respect this, and I'm going to have to go with this. So use play and praise to train Miles. Teach it to sit and stay, or teach it to sit and wait, just like in the car example, right? So when you're eating, you're asking your Miles to sit and stay while you're eating. So Miles says, oh, my task now is to sit and stay while the human eats. So you're changing the perspective, you're changing the mindset, you're changing the behavior right then and there to say to Miles that when I eat, this is what you're going to do. When there is food, this is what you're going to do. So Miles is going to, in a few days, he's going to say, as soon as they eat, I'm going to sit and stay. Automatically, they're going to sit and stay as soon as you start eating or getting involved with food. So you have to change the way you behave, and you project that new behavior in your dog. So your dog says, Miles says, there's a new queen in town, right? There has been a coup d'etat in the in this household. They're changing. The system is changing. It's going from treat training or food to no treat training. So you just have to start going back to basic, teaching Miles sit, stay, come, heel, down, stand, wait. All these commands you have to teach Miles. And once you teach those, then expect Miles to do it. If you don't practice this, you're going to be doing the same thing as yesterday. Today is the day that you make that change. Today is the day that you make that difference in your life and Miles' life. And you tell it in a way that it learns and understands. How do you train and make this difference? You start training it at the right time, the right state of mind. Regularly start training your Miles for every day or every few days. Make sure that you're rewarding Miles, both positive and negative. Make sure that it's good enough time you're spending training miles and don't use treats. Make sense? Great. Where are we? Okay, let me see if there's any other question. Nola says, I've never managed to get anything off my beagle that is his without aggression. With two behaviorists have ever tried, swap and ignore the problem, don't even work. Nearly died 2 years ago. Due to eating illegal drugs, he gets 6 miles walk every day and playtime. So this is a great point. So Nola, your walk, maybe you're exercising your beagle too much. So this is why I'm saying you have to provide proper amount of exercise. Doing too little or too much will cause behavioral issues to get either develop or to get worse. You don't want to over-exercise your dog. 6 miles, that's a lot of exercise. That's a lot of physical exercise, physical stimulation. That's too much, almost just too much. Here's another thing that you have to learn. Exercise and training are the first two things that you have to provide your dog, right? Exercise should be 30% of daily activity and daily physical stimulation or the stimulation. 70% should be training. 70% should be mental stimulation. People like Nola, or you are doing the opposite. You're doing a lot of 100% almost physical stimulation and not much mental stimulation. You have to provide both physical and mental stimulation, and try to teach your beagle the verbal cue of no. Teaching a dog a no command, which makes them to understand that's a correction. You don't have to yell to your beagle, or you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to say no, don't do it, or no. You can't be aggressive either. Just no. A clean, clear correction will do it, right? So it's very important to do the right thing and right way. So it's very important to provide proper amount of exercise, proper amount of training, proper amount of socialization. Sometimes some people do a lot, some people do a less. So that's why you need to learn and understand how much is the proper amount of exercise, how much is the training that I need to do, how much is the proper socialization, and then you get better results. So he has eaten glass, nails, petrol lighter, poop bags, lolly sticks, woolly hats. The list is endless. Love him to bits, but I've never had another beagle. So the other tip that I can give you, make sure that you are you're not off leashing your beagle yet. Just give me a minute. Let me give a cough. All right, I didn't want you to hear that cough. Don't off leash your beagle. Okay. Off leashing a beagle too soon, too fast will lead to this behavior. Maybe your beagle is not ready to be off leash yet. You have to go through the basic obedience training, intermediate level, advanced level, and then long leash, and then off leash. You have to go through this process before you off leash a beagle or any dog. Again, people don't take these steps and go right away from puppy to off leash. The worst thing that you can do, again, one of the worst things, off leashing a dog or a beagle that is not trained and is not ready to be off leash. Just like driving. If you don't know how to drive, you can't get a car. That's what most people do. They don't know how to drive. They go and buy the car first and then try to learn how to drive. If you do that, you're going to crash. You're going to ruin your new bought car. You have to learn how to drive, go through the process of learning, do the test, figure out that you can actually drive, and also you can drive in the city with all the rules and follow all the rules, and then get a car. Off leash, the same thing. You can't just off leash a dog. You have to teach it. These are the rules. This is how you walk off leash. And if you do that, then you're preventing your dog from picking up all those dangerous stuff or doing that behavior. Luckily, you can take food out of his mouth. Use treats as recommended by puppy training. Never use them on previous dog. Could never win him off them. He's too clever. Yes. Yes. That's why it's also not recommended. All right. So I see that we went over an hour and a half. This has been an amazing session for me. I'm going to try to see if there's one more question that I can answer, and then we're going to end the session. Hopefully you enjoyed this session, this live session. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share this channel, share this video. Okay, Saro, I was told by my vet I could not over-exercise a beagle. Thank you. Wrong. Vets are not behaviorists. Vets don't know anything about behavior, right? It's like going to a mechanic and asking it, how do I fix my lack of sleep? You don't go and ask a mechanic how to deal with the sleep. You go to mechanic to fix things that, needs repair in your body. Vets are just emergency doctors for dogs. Unless you go to specialist, then you're dealing with a vet who's specializing in that. Vets need to be specialized. Some vets are specializing in nutrition. Some vets are specialized in allergies. Some vets are specialized in heart. A regular vet, has no idea what he's talking about. Not against the vets. There are good vets, there are bad vets. The good vets will tell you, go talk to the behaviorist. They won't share their opinion. They don't know. Very good. Thank you for being here. He goes off leash. Yeah. Yes. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this session. I had fun. Hopefully you gained a lot of information and a lot of topics that probably blew your mind. Let me know in the comments if that did that. And if you're watching this on repeat or read on, make sure to ask your question in the comments area as well. I will answer them. I read all the questions, all the comments, and I respond to them. Again, if you want to join any of my online courses or any of my services that I provide, make sure to join sarodogtraining.com website. All the information is there. All the content that you need to know about dogs, a different format, different method of dog training that you've never seen and experienced, and you want to change your dog's behavior because you're sick and tired of dealing with your dog's behavior because you have been using treats, then this is the website that you want to check out. And you want to also make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon on my YouTube channel as well, because I go live often and I go and answer all your questions, and I make also I'm sure great content. If you are getting value out of my content on my channel, make sure to share them Make sure to let everybody know that there's a channel such as this. Let them know. Let's make this community even bigger. I will see you next time. And until next time, all of you, thank you for being here. And Amy, thank you for joining the live session. And until next time, have fun with your dog. Okay?